Hello and welcome back to Redirecting. In wake of the death of Chadwick Boseman, a lot of us were deeply bothered by that. It came so suddenly, even though a few did know that he was sick, it wasn't something that was talked about. He kind of kept it hush-hush. And so this was sprung on us. It came out of nowhere, and we are deeply saddened by it. But what it does is it opens up a whole other conversation, at least in my book. It should. He died of colon cancer. And so for me, that speaks to my mind that we've got to really look at what we are putting in our bodies, what we are eating. I don't know what led to his colon cancer, okay? But I do believe that a lot of things are in the works in terms of what we eat, what we drink, the air that we breathe, and just so many things, right? We need to start taking our lives a lot more serious because tomorrow is not promised, as I mentioned in the video where I was talking about Chadwick Boseman's death. It is a deeply sad thing, but at the same time, it should be a wake-up call for those of us that are alive. Now, every Wednesday, we feature a segment by the Minister of Wellness, and I will take this opportunity right now because I do see some of the comments on his videos on Wellness Wednesday, where some of you are not in full agreement with some of the things that he says. And so I will take this time to say that some of the views expressed by the Minister of Wellness are not necessarily those of myself and Watchmen on our ministry channel. That being said, the majority of it we are okay with. Okay, there are some views on meat. We raise our own chickens and things of that nature, and certain things we just don't share the same views on everything, right? But that's okay. It's okay. That's not to diminish anything that he talks about because he is trying to speak life into those who will hear. His testimony itself is a great testimony, and the proof is in the pudding. When you look at him physically, he went from being close to 300 pounds to where you see him now. He is a very healthy looking man. So that being said, we definitely need to start taking heed to what we eat. Okay, that's why there is this huge push by me, my husband, and many others for us to grow as much as we can ourselves, right? Not getting into the whole idea of growing. We've talked about that plenty of times. I want to talk about the whole idea of being healthy, period. Mind, body, soul. We have to feed all three on a daily basis. And we have to understand that there is a connection with all three. So that being said, even what you eat, if you're eating good and perfect, if you're not feeding your soul and your spirit, you can still experience the same thing that some of our brothers and sisters have experienced, untimely death. Did you get what I said? Being perfectly healthy in your eating, if you don't feed yourself spiritually and you don't feed your soul, then you can experience the same death that some of our brothers and sisters have experienced, because it's a whole and total package. And so we've got to put more concentration on all three. Being a vegan without the proper spiritual diet, it can spell disaster as well. All of the healthy eating and exercising and all of that without the proper spiritual diet could be death as well. Some of you know what I'm talking about because I was told by a sister many years ago, she is an herbalist, okay? Very healthy sister, very wise sister in what she knows about herbs and natural healing. And she made a point. She said, if you don't deal with unresolved issues that affect your mind, it doesn't matter how many herbs you take, how healthy you eat. If you are clouded up here, then you are going to experience some of the same things in your body that you would as if you were eating junk food. And so we got to keep that in mind, that we have to purge our mind and our thoughts. So much is being thrown at us on a daily basis, to the point where some of us don't know whether we're going or coming, because the cares of this life are literally choking out the word. And so there's a decision and a choice to be made. We've got to understand that some things are going to come at us as a test and a trial. Things that people say are going to affect us in a certain way if we allow it to. Some people are actually sent to antagonize you, to either cause you to do better spiritually, to block them out, or you absorb all of that negative energy and it affects you. You see, this comes with that choice thing. You have a choice to make. What choice will you make? Will you absorb all of this negativity coming from these outside sources and realize they're being used to bring you down spiritually? Or are you going to, on the other side here, absorb all of the positive energy from reading, studying, meditating, fasting, doing all the things that you need to do, including eating right? You see, when you decide to feed that natural man all of this negative stuff that causes it to react to this, that, and the other, you are robbing from the spiritual man. And so I want us to think in a more positive way as it relates to our lives, period. What we eat, what we drink, what we listen to, what we watch, who we involve ourselves with, what kind of conversations we engage in. This is why we need to come up with a social media diet, because it's so toxic. It's such a toxic environment that it could literally swallow you and deplete all of your natural and spiritual energy, because the environment was intentionally put in place by Hashatan himself. Listen, I know I was talking about Chadwick Boseman and his untimely death and the fact that we need to take better care of ourselves, but there is more to it than just eating right. I definitely want to get more into this subject. It is almost time for us to get started with our broadcast, so I have to cut this short, but I just wanted you all to be encouraged to do better, to treat your body better, not just what you eat, but what you read, what you listen to, what you see, what you talk about, everything, the whole package, the whole 9 yards. We have got to take better care of ourselves so that we can live a healthy and complete life. Okay? I want to encourage you all to do just that. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so. Share this video and like it. With that, I will say shalom. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.